How much time? 30? 30 seconds? I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Run.
What?
Solidari-Tea, people. Should be coming through live, hopefully. Loud and clear. Haha! Welcome to the Brews at 10. I'm your host, Lefty. Hope you're all brewing nicely this evening on a Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. Coming to you live from Manchester, where there's a storm a-brewing, perhaps, this evening, getting quite windy. Please do let me know how you're doing in the chats. Idiosyncrasy was in there first, shortly followed by Morbius. Great to see you both. Thanks for joining me at 10 bells. JK as well, just landing as well. So we have a 1, 2, 3 on the top fans ranking already. Yeah, we'll see how the winds prevail this evening. I'm not too bad myself, a little tired. Didn't have a great amount of time to prepare for the stream, if I'm being perfectly honest. Which is why there was no opening meme, for example. A little bit angry as well, I'm worried. Over what's happened in the last 3 days, really, since the awful Bondi Beach attack. But we'll be talking about that as we go through the stream. As to why I frustrate so. For now though, people, please do make sure you've hit thumbs up on the stream. Help spread the good word. Also, if you don't follow us on social media already, please do give us a follow at MyLeftEyeUK. That's Blue Sky, Mastodon and Twitter. Currently known as Twitter. Oh, speaking of social media, yeah, please do help the channel out with a share. If you could share our last video or a couple of videos, that would be fantastic. Let's just say there were rumours of certain channels being perhaps not officially suppressed or banned and whatnot, but there have been a few occasions, but in general, not perhaps being given the reach that they normally would for discussing certain topics, if I can put it so cryptically to you people. But yeah, a share on social media can go a long way. If you've just come across us this evening and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do hit subscribe. You can join others in the chat just 60 seconds later. And as I speak of support, must also include the members in that conversation. So thank you very much to everybody. Currently have 93 members on the way towards a target of 250. Or 12 score and 10, however you prefer to put it. Doc Davies has joined us in the chat as well. Solidari-Tea. We have a quality chat building up already, people. So yeah, the first live stream of the week since I was with you on Sunday. Had a bit of a rant in the last video about how the Zios are trying to hijack this awful shooting in Australia. I'll sort of continue that this evening, I guess, as more crap piles up. Thanks once again to all the members on the channel there, all the awesome people you saw on that roster. And other ways you can support the channel are with super chats if you're watching live, super thanks if you're watching back later on, and there's a buy me a coffee page, so why not take a look at the link in the description of this stream or any other content on the channel, whilst you're giving us a share on social media. Two birds, one stone, eh people? Eh? Michael, great to see you. Pretty spicy but agreeable acronym there. Actually got an acronym wrong on social media earlier. Just remembered that now. Forgot to put the I in APAC. Anyway, I think I've done all the plugs and self-promotion for now. And of course, thanks for all of your support on the channel. Finally, of course, everybody who's gifted memberships recently and renewed your own. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate the support. Let's get on to business, people. Like I said, not a great deal of time to prepare for the stream. I've had to forego the comedy clip as well as the opening meme. I do have one or two vids, but mostly articles and stuff. And what are we going to be talking about? Of course, those two arrests earlier today. Since, you know, this free society that we live in, where you can be arrested for writing 4 words on a placard, and now you can be arrested for saying 3 words that support movements against oppression. Should we gerbilise the anti-farmer? Saw that story. Of course, I'm completely appalled and outraged by that. I don't even know where or how to begin. But I guess I'll find out. We all will find out when we get onto that topic. A bit of a mishmash of subjects this evening, but sort of leading on from that will be the Pal Action Hunger Strikers. Got an update about that. I've also got an update about the hero from the Bondi Beach Massacre, one of the heroes, Ahmed Al-Ahmed, amongst others. So I've got some new information for you. Also a slight, it's not going to be a full My Left Private Eye section, but I do have a suspicion or two, not wandering into the realms of tin hat material, but I've always got questions. I'm happy to hear them answered. Let me know what you're thinking about everything in the chats, please. Chat. Haha.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Minute, I think it will. Or maybe 2 moments, not just 1 moment. Oh, he's gone. Yeah, sorry about. He was frozen on screen there. Sorry about that, Cyrus. All's well. Touch wood. Tech upgrade coming within weeks, people. I really can't wait. Actually, I'm looking forward to the upgrade. There'll be new stuff coming as well once that happens. Opens lots of avenues. Do the best I can with this basic setup. So, big things coming. And that's bad news for Keith.
Oh God!
Also coming up, a bit of a rant at Wes Streeting, which we always like here on My Left Eye. With Streeting, what am I like? So what is it this time? It's a couple of things, people. Of course, he's chipped in on this, the chant that's now been banned and has caused those 2 arrests, but also the doctor strike. Doctors and nurses striking over pay once again, and seeing the health secretary, who's in the Labour Party, in case I have to remind you, that yeah, strikers are just greedy, lazy, people should break the picket. Come on, they get paid loads anyway, and oh God, just, you know, we're just totally out of money. You're gonna have to excuse me. Zelensky's on the phone again. Yep. How much this time? Yep. Oh, yeah. Fine. Yeah. Well, no, just send the blank checks again. Okay, yep, yep, okay, love to the missus, bye-bye. Sorry, what were you talking? Something about striking doctors? That's his basic attitude. So we'll take a look at that. He's such a wanker. Graham, yeah, we've got to that point. You can't say words in this country without being arrested. The pal action / defend our juries thing was bad enough, and this is way beyond that. Way beyond it. How's the audio, people? Is that coming through? I can see Odin Allfather, thanks for joining us in the chat, says there's no audio. Anybody else experiencing that? If you can't hear me, then raise your hands on this faceless... I can't even hold up a sign. This is faceless channel for now. Obviously, you know, wanting to concentrate on the serious topics, and the politics can't have you getting lost in my eyes and distracted. Mo, I hope I don't say the band Chants either. I believe it's some... someone mentioned it to me earlier. Gerbilise the anti-farmer, something like that. I don't know what gerbils has got to do with farms. I think that's what they said. It was a particularly bad line. Gerbilise the anti-farmer. I don't know what it's about, but it sounds like it could be huge. What a campaign. So yeah, just back to your comment, Graham. That is exactly where we've found ourselves in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. It's very sad. Thanks a lot for all your contributions in the chat. Keep them coming. Yeah, so appreciate the feedback. Thanks again, Odin Allfather. And that comment there about the conflation, of course, that's been the biggest frustration for me just recently, on a macro scale, of course, for years now. More intense, of course, since the counter-attack, you know, the dates. But now, just the way it's all over the mainstream media, as well as the lack of challenges, the lack of sense from the mainstream media, from the interviewers, and they just let them blabber away, make the most ridiculous comparisons, connections, because we're going to get onto this topic first, I think, this evening. Although, like I said, it's a bit of a mishmashy hodgepodge one again. But my main point there was going to be, how is people chanting 3 words that literally translate to resistance against oppression in Manchester, no less, or London, and somehow that ends up with these 2 nutcases on a bridge in Bondi Beach. We're supposed to believe that? We're supposed to actually believe that? We've come to the point where, as Graham said, yeah, in this country, Yori Gibson as well, free speech for you, no free speech for thee. That's exactly how it's working. They certainly have free reign on our social media, as well as mainstream media. And they sit there nodding along, oh yeah, this peace march, anti-genocide march in Manchester caused an atrocity. Literally, literally the other side of the world. It's tomorrow there now, and not just, you know, early hours of tomorrow as it is in Central and Eastern Europe. It's tomorrow. People are having their breakfast. People are late for breakfast in Australia as I'm streaming right now, and they want you to, you know, it's beyond the butterfly effect, beyond, I don't know, what's the craziest, it's like the magic bullet theory from JFK on crack. Figuratively, of course. Ammunitions cannot consume barbiturates, to the best of my knowledge, at least. But you see what I'm getting at, people. Obviously, Manchester being brought into this with the Manchester and London commissioners, respectively, both at the same time banning these slogans. It's very close to home, as is some of the other Zionist propaganda bullshit that I mentioned in the last video, and I'm going to go into again on this stream. But how can you sum up what these people are allowed to say without interruption on the main platforms as well here in the UK? It's only one thing you can say.
That was the biggest load of crap I've ever heard.
Right, people, let's bring up some material. I guess we'll guide ourselves into that topic since we've already started talking about it. Enchilada, that's a good, yeah, gerbilize. Very good. Keep them coming, people. This could be the next plasticine. I support plasticine Acton. Yes. Malleable play substances in the borough of Acton are certainly my kind of thing, as your granddad might say. Oh, I love out like that, me. Yes, enchilada. Gerbilise the enchilada. I support plasticine in Acton. For MIDI Doctors, Solidari-Tea, thanks for joining us. Oh, where to begin, people? Okay, I'll do a few updates on the actual... We'll start at the start. So, the actual event itself and the hero, one of the well-known heroes of the day, Ahmed Al-Ahmed, as well as others who I've got some information about. There's good news and bad news, bit of a mix in this, so I'm just going to pull up the most recent video on the channel without sound. I'm not sure that Bonnie Tyler would go very well over the background music. And instead of listening to what I've got to say, you might be all spontaneously compelled to stand up and dance. For anybody who's wondering if it sounds like Bonnie Tyler's had too much coffee on the video, for anybody who's watched it, there's a good reason for that. So it's not actually at the original tempo for various reasons. Shh. Anyway, I'm going to go through the footage of Ahmed Al-Ahmed. Let's see what's happening. Just give me a very quick moment, people. Talk amongst yourselves for about 20 seconds. And get right on it. This is live. This is quality streaming, people, coming to you from Manchester in the United Kingdom. The Brews at 10 on my left eye. Be right back. Solidarity.
Have you lost control of your MPs, Prime Minister?
Socialists.
Oh my god.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Thanks again for your patience there, people. So here he is. Of course, the hero of the hour. It will zoom in a second. There we go. Alright, so we've probably seen this a few times. I'm sure you've all watched our video of this. So I'm just going to make that a bit bigger. Because the last time we sort of went over this, we were wondering if he was shot twice, Ahmed Al-Ahmed, during the confrontation. Apparently, so we were wondering if it was whilst he was grappling this guy to get the gun from him, if he was shot whilst grappling the gun away. Apparently not, because as I play more of this, he does this very successfully, and it turns out, people, he's actually a former policeman. Previously it was believed that he'd obviously had no training or whatnot, but he apparently is a former policeman, from what we're told. Which is probably why he didn't nail the guy, to be honest. In the heat of the moment, perhaps somebody else might have acted differently. So, I do love that bit where he raises his hand in the air. So just looking back, this is the bastard who he wrestled the gun from, and then as it pans... sorry, it stays there. I mistakenly thought that that was Ahmed Al-Ahmed, but it turns out this is a separate bystander who comes along and throws some object at the bastard. So we'll just take a look at this, and this is where I've got some, sadly, some unfortunate news, people. because obviously we were cheering on and continue to cheer on this guy for intervening as well. But as things proceeded, and piece of shit number one, is it the elder? They look believed to be the elder of the two, whilst the younger one is still on the bridge. Here we can see it, and starts to fire, and was actually firing at the man who was throwing the objects at piece of shit the elder, and unfortunately died from his injuries. Sorry to bring you that update, people. So then, as piece of shit the younger continues to fire, the elder returns to the bridge. They both continued firing, and then a member of the Australian police, hiding behind some trees close by, eventually shot the elder, and he died on the scene. The other's critically wounded, and currently faces 15 murder charges, having received a bedside court hearing earlier today. That is today in the UK sense of chronology. But yeah, just wanted to bring you those updates as well. So again, condolences with all of the families and the family of hero number 2, whose name, unfortunately, I don't have at the moment. But that man who threw the objects at piece of shit the elder, unfortunately, then mortally wounded by piece of shit the younger, who's, well, let's be honest, he's going to be spending the rest of his life in prison. I believe he didn't enter a plea. So make of that what you will. And just once again, that's how you do it, people. Solidarity with Ahmed Al-Ahmed. There was also some, people have been, like I said, mainstream media and otherwise have been going a bit nuts recently, in a series of debates online. Not that it really comes, he's a hero. It's the only word that you need to describe Ahmed Al-Ahmed. But debates over his faith and country of origin. For example, some people were first, obviously, praising him as a Muslim hero. Turns out he's actually a Christian and then it was claimed he was of Syrian descent. This is Australian migrants, should point out. But then others have said that he's actually of Indian descent, not Syrian. So a lot of confusion and debates surrounding this hero. But of course, hero, as I said, is the only word that you need to mention. And I hope that he gets a certificate and a medal. And a cheque. I think just a big cardboard one with a sort of press and then a traditional transfer, of course, as opposed to a cheque. Who's like, a bit weird. I wonder, it's the last people to write cheques. It's like, who was the last person to spend outdated currency, like a friggin' what, a halfpenny, a crown. We'll never know. We'll never know.
We apologise for the interruption of this broadcast while Lefty goes off on a tangent. He's been given a cup of tea and will be back with you shortly. In the meantime, make sure you've hit the thumbs up button and left a comment down below. Thank you for your patience.
Or like, oh, thanks for the brew. Who was the last person to watch black and white television? I don't know. Anyway, let's get back on track. Where does this bring us on to? Sort of spoilt for choice bits for where to lead on to next. Oh yeah, I'll address some of the bullshit that's been going around online. For anybody who follows the channel online, have been somewhat what's the best word? Agitated recently from what's been going around on Twitter and Blue Sky from the Zios, and they brought Manchester into this, as I mentioned on the most recent video on the channel. And you can keep this city out of your mouth. Thank you very much, Zios. So yeah, quite intense there on social media for anybody who follows us. But for anybody who doesn't know, various claims were going round, including that the footage I'm about to show you was taken just a couple of days ago and was a celebration of the events on Bondi Beach. That's what a lot of the far right have been claiming and sharing and putting it around, and then piling in on the comments, you know, oh yeah, it's so typical, and it spreads and spreads. However, people, I'll just pull the clip up first. Sorry, just take the audio off for a moment. Well, in fact, first I'll play it through with the audio, because that's actually significant to do with the claims, because they're also claiming that there were chants about the massacre on the beach. So keep your ears and your eyes open here, people, because the claim is that this took place in Sydney, in Australia, a day or two after the massacre, and was a celebration of the massacre, and that was included in the chants as well. Remember, that's the claim. Let's see the reality. So for anybody who can't make it out, it's Free Palestine, Stop the Genocide is the chant, if you listen. And that's End Apartheid. And I'll pause it there, people. Pause it there, actually, right there. Because, what's this? I don't know if you can make that out, it's a little blurred because I've had to hyper zoom and enhance the shot there, people. But it says Market Street. That sounds familiar, people. Sounds familiar. Market Street. In black writing on a yellow background, almost like black and yellow, like a bee. Like you could say it's almost like a bee, and it being a series, if you will, people. You know, I might be being a bit extraordinary in what I'm saying here. This is all sarcasm, by the way. Being completely extraordinary and thinking that reminds me of the Bean Network. If there are a series of these stops, sorry, just readjust the size here. Where is there a Bean Network? Public transport of buses and trams and soon to be trains. According to Andy Burnham. Andy, but that's it, of course. It's in Manchester, yes. Obviously it's in Manchester. Don't know how many times I've been on that tram stop. Like I said in the last video, it is literally yards away, maybe 50 yards away from where most of the anti-genocide pro-Gaza marches begin, in Piccadilly Gardens. You know it, people. It's strewn with buses, you can't miss it. And that's quite a pathetic attempt to claim what they claimed about this being Sydney, and a couple of days after the event. It's pathetic. What can you say? What can you say, Vic?
Pathetic.
You certainly can. Let's play through. So this will be on a Saturday. This is a very regular occurrence in Manchester. The camera doesn't really pan round to show the crowd, but thousands in attendance, as there are every time in Manchester. And there you have it. So Market Street, Manchester, not anywhere near the other side of the world, as quite pathetically claimed.
Pathetic.
I've seen others as well. There was one, I think it was Times Square, months ago. That was from June, by the way. That was from June. Not a few days ago. And actually someone in one of the comments that I replied to, I can't remember which exact uploader, because there was that going around, and then of course there was the debunking going around, fortunately. And I took part in some of that myself, but a Canadian said it was very suspicious that people were claiming it was June because they were wearing jackets, and described, you know, sort of comparing it to Canada. But if you've never been to Manchester in June, you're not always guaranteed to be safe in a t-shirt and shorts. You ain't from round here, are you? So I guess that sort of guides us on to, yeah, this ban, which has now come into effect from today, and there have been 2 arrests, which we'll take a look at in just a moment. This is going to be the piling on streeting section of the stream. If anybody wants to make any preparations, you know, pull up your favourite insults or whatever.
Shut up, Wesley.
So a clip from Wesley, and then we'll take a look through the article. Yes, he's in the cabinet, but I don't know why a health secretary. That's the abbreviated title, by the way, I do know. So why are they asking him about Home Secretary affairs? I don't know. But of course he's got to push the narrative. It was a rhetorical question. So let's hear from Wesley. Wesley. It's Wesley time.
This is what globalizing the Intifada means. Whatever Israel's actions, however strongly people feel about it, and of course people can speak in strong and robust terms to condemn. I do it all the time. There is no excuse for racism in that context.
No. Has anybody seen streeting on one of the anti-genocide marches? Hands up. Anybody know anybody who's seen Wes on one of the anti-genocide marches? Does anybody know anybody who knows anybody who knows anybody who's seen Wes streeting on one of the anti-genocide marches? I do it all the time. Do you? Fuck. Sorry, it might get a bit sweary during this section, but he is just a complete and utter prat, isn't he?
But shut up, Wesley.
And skipping back again, the constant throwing of spaghetti against the wall. This is what... I'll carry on with the voice. I think it's far too late to do it for a sustained amount of time. Whilst I'm also trying to think about what I've got to say about it. But this is mostly improvised, you know, people. Join the dots. Can you show us the connection? Can you explain why? Because if you're going to arrest people for chanting something, then you better have a fucking good reason for it, Wesley. But obviously, it's not what... It doesn't mean what Wesley is describing. It means it's resistance to oppression. That is what it literally translates to. The resistance of oppression across the world. Global, gerbil, enchilada. Yes, globalise the enchilada. Is the popularity of Mexican food on the wane? We'll find out at the end of this new and shocking campaign. Right. Carry on, shithouse.
There is no excuse for racism in any context. And Britain's Jews...
Really? Really? How about a lack of disgust with the genocide that's happening that is purely on a racist basis, that's on an Islamophobic basis, that's on an anti-Muslim agenda, that Israel doesn't just want to rid Palestine of every citizen, whether it's by displacement or death, but has wider plans for the entire region at the moment, and again, purely based on the fact that they are mostly populated by Muslims, though not entirely, of course. There are Jews and Christians in Palestine, and churches are not shielded or protected from Israel either. They're targeted just as much as Palestinians are. Wesley, where's the outrage? Where's the outrage? Well, I don't want to sound like a whataboutist, but I think that's a legitimate calling out of hypocrisy. If people like Wesley were as outraged about the genocide as they are anti-genocide marches, we'd all be getting a lot closer to real peace and a real ceasefire in Palestine, in Gaza and the West Bank. Because I'll tell you something else. One of these other online arseholes earlier on was saying that there's no need to have the marches, and we've heard this before, ever since this supposed ceasefire that was drummed up by Donald Trump, which was just a performative paper signing, and then obviously Israel went straight back to it and have killed thousands since this supposed ceasefire took place. The media will say, oh, well, there are accusations from both sides of breaches. Get your calculators out. Use an abacus. Use your fingers and your fucking toes. Whatever you can to calculate who's doing what. Please. MSM. Because I'm getting pretty fucking tired of all this fucking Shite.
I think I can smell shite. Yes, I can definitely smell shite.
Are speaking to us consistently with an overwhelming voice about raising the alarm about anti-Semitism in this country, raising the alarm about public indifference to anti-Semitism.
Well, do you discuss the reality of that? Do you discuss the statistics of that? Really? And do you think that any of that is possibly connected to, again, peaceful marches, anti-genocide marches? This is ludicrous. This is ludicrous. Meanwhile, in Israel, in Tel Aviv, they literally have parties about how many Palestinians are being killed. It's... Sorry, people, it genuinely gets to me sometimes when I can't believe what I'm about to fucking say, but it's a tourist attraction to some Israelis, to a lot of Israelis, because that's where a lot of the Zionists live. So, yeah, that's literally a celebration, whether it's parties or is it tourist attraction. Look through the fucking binoculars while we blow up another hospital. And they all clap and cheer. Apologies, as I said, a little tired tonight, people. And kids, and they get the kids to do it as well. Come on, Junior, let's start, It's beyond gross. It beggars belief. And I don't want to live in a world where things like this happen, people. Something's got to be done. It really has to.
And whether it's this or any other type of racism, all of us, maybe particularly those of us who are not Jewish, have a special responsibility to stand with our Jewish friends at this time. This is what
we know he's lobbied 30 grand. That was the amount that Declassified UK exposed in one of their recent pieces. Again, shout out to their excellent work, excellent source of news as well. Go and check them out if you don't already. That's Declassified UK. So he's bought and paid for. He's 100% compromised by the Zionist lobbies, by AIPAC and their reach. Goes very far. It's hard to, these shadowy organisations, it's hard to figure out which one is the worst. You have Palantir, you have AIPAC, BlackRock, all of these awful agents, and these are people with a lot of power and a lot of influence, which doesn't get spoken about through the mainstream channels at all, let alone nearly as much as it should do. Aaron, thanks for joining us this evening, Solidari-Tea. Andrew Carter, Andy, great to see you, Solidari-Tea. To you as well, comrade. Celebrating 18 months of membership. It's been great to have you along. How you brewing? I'm just going to have a quick scroll up and see if I've missed anybody out. Apologies if I have. If you've joined the chats while I've been yabbering away here at Wesley. That was terrible, Wesley. It really was.
That was the biggest load of crap I've ever heard.
In fact, yeah, we might as well just start piling on now.
But shut up, Wesley. Pathetic.
I think I can smell shite. Yes, I can definitely smell shite.
So there have been 2 arrests. We'll take a look at those now. Just to skim through the article. After I thank Andy Carter once again, also for joining us, as well as 5 gifted memberships. Solidari-Tea, brother. Hope you all enjoy your perks. Those recipients there. Let's update the total. Takes us to 98. Isn't that great? These are the new bingo callings. I don't know. I'm not familiar with bingo enough to know what 98 is. Anybody? It's one of the very last numbers, because as the joke goes, what's got 99? Balls and kills old ladies. Sorry, and bucks old ladies, I think. Is anyway, 99. No, we're on 98. It's because I was telling the joke. Fucking hell. Right. 98 is correct. Thanks again. Andy Carter, let's please big up Andy in the chat, please, everybody. Someone live in the chat receiving one of the gifted memberships. Nice shot. Well, your reputation goes before you, Andy, for your excellent aim and bullseye. Is it a double bullseye? Oh yes, Graham Turner as well. Haha! Pew pew! That wasn't very good. Worst gun imitation ever. Double bullseye. If Andy Carter isn't spread across the back pages tomorrow morning, then there will be no justice. Scientists said it was at the centre at a quantum level. That's how accurate it was. It almost caused a nuclear explosion. I was going to bring up the article, wasn't I? Yep. Which is here. This is improvised, but it's quality. Just have to open the window here. That's the wrong article we want. The correct article. Just 1 second. You are some kind of Robin Hood. Deadly shot. And of course, the shift of wealth on a macro scale from the upper to lower classes, which you're all in favour of. Where the heck has it gone? There it is. And I'll share it with you now. Technology permitting. No, Andy, it's not just you buffering. As you've got a very good aim, I appear to have an excellent sense of timing as well, because just as I said, just literally as I said, technology permitting, the broadcast software crashed, so just had to do a quick reset there. I was going to bring up this article, which I will now do again. Technology permitting, it says optimistically. Hooray. And 2 people have been arrested. Let's see what's happening here. Smells like an infringement of our hard fought for rights, doesn't it, people? So this is supposedly, quote, racially aggravated public order offences after they allegedly shouted slogans involving calls for intifada at a pro-Palestinian protest in central London. Oh, shit. That's enchilada. I'm reading it from a BBC article. You can't cancel me for that. But 5 people were arrested in total, including 1 for obstructing, trying to obstruct the arrests. 2 more for public order offences, 1 of which is supposed to be racially aggravated, the Met Police said. This came hours after the Met and Greater Manchester Police said they would arrest people holding placards and chanting the phrase, gerbilise the enchilada. And they tactically describe this as an Arabic word for uprising, but it's uprising against repression, oppression, against genocide, is what it does mean. There's another sort of reference to this. And yeah, it's not things like this that caused the Bondi Beach attack or the synagogue attack here in Manchester, both of which I utterly condemn. They were diabolical. Diabolical. We have to be realistic about this, people. I guess the worst of the worst in this situation is it appears to have handed a lot of Zionists in the UK and elsewhere carte blanche about what they think should and shouldn't be tolerated. With the overreaction to this, with the hyperbole, with the lies, the propaganda that I've already demonstrated on tonight's live stream. So if they say, we want this phrase banned, we want that phrase banned, we want all the marches made illegal, in fact, just basically put anyone who protests about anything in a fucking gulag. Is that as far as we're going to go? Was the line going to be? Now there's attempting to appease people. There's obviously people genuinely mourning this tragedy, and there are a lot of bad faith actors in the mix as well who are pushing some absolute nonsense, it's got to be said. But I think it's already gotten out of hand, way out of hand, and this is the epitome. This is the epitome of this now. This has crossed a line. Another line in the UK. And all we hear from politicians, whomever it might be, is, oh, bearing in mind the devastating recent attacks, such and such, and I don't want to sound, I've got to choose my words very carefully here. I don't want to sound like I'm lacking sympathy for the victims, and I don't want to be harsh. I want to say that when you compare the numbers, if you're going to say this, which is, of course, conflating countries and religions again, don't know how many times I have to go on about that one. what was I saying there? But yeah, if you draw comparisons, the 15 deaths that happened on Bondi Beach, but 15 deaths would be considered a below average day in Gaza. Way below average. But all lives count equally, of course. And like I said in the video, and I'll remind everybody again, my condolences and heartfelt thoughts go out to all of the victims and their families at this time, although and that is absolute, I have to say. I do need to also point out that there have been claims made online. I haven't seen any particular proof, but claims made online that amongst the 15 victims were actually Israeli spokes who appeared on Israeli media and other media celebrating the genocide, trying to justify the genocide and so on and so forth. I don't know why I raised that. I don't know where I was going to be going with that, but yeah, like I said, unconfirmed. But that's got nothing to do with people marching peacefully in Manchester and in London. But when we get to the bottom here, not the bit explaining that it's an updated article from, I think, yesterday, and they've added some stuff to it today. But this is, and it comes down to this. This is as close as they will come to connecting the chant, connecting these marches to what happened at the synagogue in Manchester or Bondi Beach. Some. I hope you're all taking notes here, people. This is particularly important. Some have described the term as a call for violence against Jewish people. And who might they be? Who might they be? Could it be people with an agenda? Could it be people that are either directly connected to Israel or other Zionist factions? Some. Who do you think some people are? People, comma. There's a comma in there. Yeah, who are these some? So some people have described. Some people have described what, liars, hyperbolic drama queens. I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it. Ed Davey has got on the bandwagon. Oh yes, he doesn't just ride canoes and hang gliders. He's he's a dab hand at riding Zionist bandwagons as well, as he stealths up a seat here and a seat there in the poll, perhaps on his way to becoming the main opposition. Who knows? And of course it's all one-sided, this. I think I said on Sunday's stream as well, one of these frustrations, even as this was all unfolding live, when I was watching live, they briefly mentioned Ahmed al-Ahmed, obviously because of his apparently Muslim sounding name, but the lineups were like, okay, and the next Israeli spokes is, and then okay, Benjamin Netanyahu's going live now, and now let's hear from whatever people who make up bullshit organisation next, as I'll sit nodding or looking concerned and won't challenge them. Not once. Oh, I think actually, I'll hold my hand up. There was one occasion where I can recall it being challenged, if you want to call it that, and I'll try and loosely describe this. It was a BBC interview, and I can't remember exactly who they were interviewing. It wasn't David Menser. I would have probably remembered that, unfortunately. And it was put to the spokes, the Israeli spokes, that there was. So, what would you say to people who? And I almost couldn't believe that I was hearing it, although it's a fleeting example, and I think it was shared on social media, but originally from a radio clip. I'm not sure if it was BBC Radio or Times Radio or whatever. I think it was the BBC. And they actually asked, do you not think this is, paraphrasing, trying to conflate religions and countries, and that people who go on these marches aren't criticising Judaism, that they're criticising the state of Israel? And then also followed up with, so what would you say to people about how to criticise Israel legitimately without apparently, air quotes, being anti-Semitic? And he essentially just repeated a bullshit answer that he'd given earlier, whilst you could hear the interviewer just going, and it wasn't a satisfactory answer. It wasn't a satisfactory answer. Far from it. But there aren't enough of those questions being put about. I think we all know that. And relax. I think I might move on. That's all I've got to say for now. For now. Except just to reiterate, I can't believe it. I can't believe that this is happening in our country. Free speech, innit? We got free speech. That's why we put those flags up. We got free speech. Fucking hell. No, we do not. Is the chat up to date? Let's make sure it looks like it is. Loosely I'll say, connected to this, of course, concerning protest and protest against the genocide. I'm sure that you're aware, although it's been underreported, of the hunger strike. I have made mention of this on the channel before. There were 8 members of PAL Action on hunger strike, have been for several weeks now. One of them in a very deeply critical state of malnutrition. Several of them, actually. And in fact today some of them have actually broken the hunger strike. And there was a protest where they're being held at Bronzefield, which has a reputation for being awful. Awful. Some of them are right up there. Bronzefield, Wandsworth. From what I know, and unfortunately, people, the amount of people who I do know involved with protests who are currently in prison is ever on the rise. Shout out again to those gantry protesters, of course, and my dear friends who were sentenced recently as well. Back to this hunger strike though, let's see what's happening. Zara Sultana was down there at Bronzefield Prison. I'm going to pull up a video in a moment. So the last that we heard, there were, I believe, all but 2 of the hunger strikers today made the decision to break the strike. It was going to kill them, to be honest, people. From what I've heard, and it's very far away from where I am this evening, Bronzefield. But I do have a lot of information on this, and it's really awful. It's really awful when you hear described what it is like to go on hunger strike. What was I going to say next? Sorry, so many thoughts are going through my head at the moment. There was a prolonged wait for an ambulance outside the hospital, which was set to arrive for some of the hunger strikers, as I said, literally at death's door. And I'm not overstating this whatsoever. And this is a prison. You'd think if ambulance was called to a prison, it'd be there pretty quick sharp. It's almost... Nah, couldn't be, could it? Just going to pull up this clip from Zara now. Sorry for the abrupt end to the music. I'll just have to... align this. It's from the Canary. Should give a shout out to the Canary. I'll just leave it there so you can see the subtitles. And I need to make sure I can hear it as well.
I'm Zara Sultana. I'm here at HMP.
This was very early in the morning, as you can see there on screen. 4:30. And Zara was there all day. Don't say that she doesn't get out there on the streets, because she certainly does. A lot more than Wes fucking streeting.
Bronzefield, because Gersa Zuhra, a Palestine hunger striker, is on day 46 of her hunger strike and desperately, urgently needs medical care.
I'm just going to add a bit of volume to that, because it's a little quiet. I can understand it's very early in the morning. So, that should do it. Yeah, obviously, not going to be full of energy at that time in the morning.
And attention. She requires
there we go.
A transfer to hospital.
I'm just going to restart that in case anybody couldn't hear it.
Hi, I'm Zara Sultana. I'm here at HMP Bronzefield because Gersa Zuhra, a Palestine hunger striker, is on day 46 of her hunger strike and desperately, urgently needs medical care and attention. She requires a transfer to hospital, and I have been on the phone to the ambulance service highlighting Gersa's symptoms, which include struggling with breathing, chest pains, abdominal pains. She has been requesting since 5 p.m. For a doctor to see her. She has then been visited by a nurse in the prison who told her, don't tell us what to do in terms of her requesting a transfer to hospital. She has been given an ECG and has been told, you're absolutely fine. But there are medical professionals who say that is not an accurate representation of her situation. She's a 20-year-old who has lost 15% of her body weight. She's experiencing serious pain and needs hospital attention. The ambulance service has told me categorically that it is the prison who are refusing an ambulance to transfer her to a hospital. I visited Gersa last Monday and saw her and spoke to her, and then her health deteriorated massively. I then contacted the prison, and soon after she was transferred to a hospital. Since then, since her return back to HMP Bronzefield, she has not been receiving the electrolytes she desperately needs, and her situation is really critical. This is a matter of life and death.
And that still went on for hours and hours, and I still don't know if an ambulance finally arrived. When I came to you on stream this evening, it was still not apparent, so that was going on from around 5:30 yesterday, that's UK time, so that's well over 24 hours now, and that's appalling. And it's the prison that won't allow it to happen. It's shocking. It really is. But I will wish them all well. Of course, that is a very brave form of protest, because it does unspeakable things to your body. Starvation isn't pleasant. And Solidarity with all those on hunger strike. Thanks for the flags in the chat as well. I'm sure they'd all appreciate that. Yeah, can we have a bit more of that, people? Show support. Flags, watermelons, whatever you will. Viva Viva Palestina. Globalise the enchilada.
Socialists.
Thanks once again for those contributions in the chat. Alright, where should we wander to next? What do I have? Still got a bit more for you on stream, people. Make sure you hit thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you don't do so already. And we'll go on to the doctor's strikes now. So both Streeting and Starmer have thrown the hat into the ring on this one. We're going to start with Keith.
Oh God!
I believe we're back. Thanks for your brief patience again, people. I have identified an issue, which is positive, which I think we should all reflect on and celebrate. No, for some reason, and I'm going to put this in very technical terms, people, so pay attention. Every time I try and open the window capture, it tells me to go fuck myself and shuts itself down. So, fortunately, the IT team here, the primates, are very good at getting us back online post haste. So sorry about the technical difficulties.
As you can see, we're experiencing a minor technical difficulty here on my left eye. Our team of expertly trained technicians are working busily to restore the stream. In the meantime, please make sure that you've hit the thumbs up button harder than you'd like to hit Keir Starmer in the ghoulies, and left a comment down below. Thank you.
Andy, thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, it does need updating again, doesn't it? So when it reloads, it forgets. It's not a "you're right here" raid this time. Although there's a rumour that might be planning a counter raid sometime in the near future. That's one of the rarities to look out for. Thanks again, Andy. Kieran, thanks for those flags in the chat. Thanks everybody. Midi Doctors, Andy Carter, Aaron, everybody. Viva Viva. Right, this time, let's hope this goes without a hitch. Once again, a reminder that this is the leader of the Labour Party. The clue should be in the name. I think it's acting up. It's not liking. It doesn't want to share the window. The truth will be heard. I demand that the truth be heard. I demand satisfaction. You might experience a couple of seconds buffering here. Dangerous, he says. The strikes are dangerous. What's that? They want a level with inflation pay rise that's perfectly reasonable. Yes, the leader of the Labour Party has said the latest 5-day strike by doctors is dangerous and utterly irresponsible, and warned them not to abandon, as he put it, patients. We all know they have a right to strike, just as any other worker, and they've been underpaid for a very long time now. The BMA is asking for a genuinely long-term plan to increase pay and make up for years of below inflation rises. That, of course, includes throughout the decade and a half of Tory austerity, throughout which there were many cuts, and also, of course, need we mention the COVID-19 pandemic. And what did they do? They made a bunch of fucking circus seals stand outside on the porches and clap and rattle the pots and pans. And that'll do, as the Tories, that'll do. Yeah, let's all get outside now and just, you know, shout. Increase the pay. And again, they're not asking for a lot. They're just asking for an in line with inflation pay rise. We have members of the medical profession on benefits. And if that doesn't epitomise a broken system and a lack of equality and or even merit and credit and a fair day's work for a fair day's pay. It's the 14th walkout in the long-running dispute. Strikers highlighted the shortage of jobs, of course, that was accentuated and emphasised by leaving the European Union. Of course, freedom of movement for workers, immigrant workers' rights, etc., completely out the window. And this has hit the NHS hard. It was already understaffed before we left the European Union. So I urge all those anybody who happens to come across a strike or a picket for striking doctors and nurses, do show your support. And in the grand scheme of things, when you consider that there's probably no more valuable a member of society than doctors, nurses, medical staff, carers included, of course, as well. You have to include carers in this. So many people's lives are dependent on them, and that you can't cough up £250 million out of almost £2 trillion economy to make sure that they're paid, again, not lavishly, not exorbitantly, but fairly. They don't all have to own elaborate residences and whatnot. They literally just want to be able to modestly thrive and get by in life, instead of claiming benefits, as I'll highlight again. I'm sure that a lot of other people in the civil service are shocked by this as well. People who work for the Department of Work and Pensions who have to process universal credit claims. And they go through people's details, get to current occupation, of course. It's not always those looking for work. And they found out that they're essentially working full-time in healthcare, whatever it might be. And you put it very well there, Graham. You should be able to cough up as much money as needed to pay for a fully funded services. The concept of the NHS was hard fought for. The Tories tried to stop it. Churchill spoke against it. Probably sure there aren't many roundabout painters in the chat or listening, but just in case, a little reminder there. And it's so precious as a national institution, a socialist institution, I should say so, and should remain so, and return to its original level. It doesn't have to be complicated like it has become, as it is compartmentalised and split into different markets that can be sold off. Of course, we've spoken about that before on the channel, but just back to simplicity and making sure that every nurse and doctor doesn't have to worry whether they can feed themselves, whether they can afford to feed the children. And that is part of the strikes as well, quite right there, Andy. The state of the NHS and how it's been allowed to get into such circumstances under successive governments, that might not be a legitimate reason to strike under our archaic laws. Increasingly archaic laws. I hope nobody on those pickets is saying globalise the enchilada. And it's ever the case that whenever any legislation comes in that strips our rights away, right to protest, right to strike, they always sneak in extra stuff that sort of stealthily removes parts of another rights, almost, so that the sensation, the huge news story of the one or two main bits being removed, distract. And meanwhile, nobody notices that part of another right gets taken away. Happens all the time. even in legislation that seems unrelated. This is why you have to be savvy, because not everybody even has time to read legislation, of course, that's proposed, whether it's an act or a bill, and whatever it might be, you know, however many words and pages long it is, they don't go through everything, but some manage to not, and then they vote, and then obviously there's votes on amendments and so on and so forth, but a lot of this is retroactive. I mean, again, going back to leaving the European Union, a lot of that came up. It really did. Yeah, so but we've written this thing. It's 85,000 pages long, whatever. And we got. It's, what time is it now? It's about 7:30 in the evening, and we're going to vote on this first thing tomorrow. It looks like Lord of the Rings stacked on top of War and Peace when they bring it in. Hoping that people won't notice. Clause 37A/C. Oh, and by the way, your right to protest is fully removed now, so we are voting, yeah. Just back to the article. In light of the strike, NHS England has said people should use 111 online. That's 111. It looks like ill. Get it? As the first port of call for urgent but not life-threatening issues during the strike. If you're ill, but not like, come get me or I'll die. Patients who need emergency medical care should continue to use 999 or come forward to accident and emergency as normal. The effects are overstated. Essentially, that is the staff that remain have to take on roles that they don't normally take on. Briefly, we're not talking about, let's say, an optician doing open heart surgery or anything like that. Goodness no. Sort of. Mostly within the same department, but doing all of the roles as well. They are trained, of course. It's just not their normal practice. And of course, if they weren't seen to be capable or proficient, then they wouldn't be allowed to change roles anyway in the first place. And part of the thing is, obviously, it is understaffed, and that is causing backlogs, queues in accident and emergency, as well as a long wait to get appointments with general practitioners. And the government have created this, along with the Tories, it has to be said, but Labour are perpetuating this. So to try and say that the strikes cause backlogs in emergency waiting rooms and whatnot is just complete hypocrisy, because that's what they're protesting against. They need the pay and the staff to make sure that that doesn't happen. And Labour can try and cook the books as much as they want. And we've got 5 quadrillion new appointments in the NHS, Mr. Speaker. Cuts a shot of Wesley. I'm going to have to fill in for PMQs, a lack of PMQs. Which I can't believe I've not even brought up until this part of the live stream. To be honest, this being a Wednesday. But just back to this, yeah. However many appointments that they claim that they've created, and it's obviously these are bogus. They're taking the book cooking right out of the Tory playbook, which is probably just as cooked as the Labour cookbook. Nailed it in one. the advice is follow the normal procedure. Yeah, that's a good point about the... Oh, so don't forget though, if you do injure yourself or get severely ill, you should ring us. Oh, yeah, I hadn't thought of that before, yeah. I was just gonna, like, sit here and hope that it goes away. I don't really feel any better. I think I'm gonna pass out. Nearly turned into Angela Rayner there. What else can we say? But Noel Gallagher's ill. Okay, sorry. I carried that one on for a bit longer than I should have, do I have to admit. Like I said, no, this is improvised. Not suitably prepared for prolonged impressions. Bar maybe the odd word or so. I assume that's what you're referring to, not the Starmer. 5 quadrillion new appointments in the NHS, Mr. Speaker. That one's a bit better. Just one sec, people. More data and possibly mediocre impressions to come in just a moment. And it's there, is it? Are we here? Is it there? Oh, it can't make its mind up. It's back. It's on, off. For a second, are we back? I think we're back. Yeah, it keeps having a paddy anytime I want to open or close the screen share. So I'm just leaving that off for now. Crispin Flintoff had an interview with Dr. Gill about the flu epidemic being overhyped. Is that Dr. Bob Gill? Yeah, I've interviewed him actually. Myself, Graham, do know Dr. Bob Gill. But, you know, what do you call it? Just slip that one in there. Name dropping is the phrase I was looking for. But yeah, very familiar with Dr. Gill. He's an awesome guy. Very wary of privatised NHS takeover as well. Knows his stuff. And there has been a lot of mention about the flu. New strains of flu, the preparation or under preparation of the NHS for another pandemic were it to happen. A different kind. Yeah, I would say that I know that this time of year quite a few bugs and things go around places in terms of, you know, absolute proper flu, influenza. Probably about the same as normal, I'd guess. But for why? We could be here all night on that one. Yeah, this is a Faceless channel. That interview I did with Dr. Bob Gill was on video call, but I don't know, might be able to bring it to you somehow. Try and make a note of that one. But I will check out Crispin Flintoff's channel, of course, formerly Not the Andrew Marr Show. He's a nice guy as well, Crispin. Bumped into him myself once or twice. Very pleasant conversation. Love his channel as well. Go and subscribe. Pluggity doodah. Speaking of plugs, just double check that you've hit that thumbs up button there, people. Because you're a great audience, you really are.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Although, inevitably, I'm going to have to attempt another screen share, otherwise I won't be able to talk about this topic. Just for a moment. Because we've mentioned strikes, we've mentioned unions. One of the other stories today. It's good news. Let's end on a positive, shall we, people? For anybody who's in the Unite Union, that is, which is of course the biggest union here in Britain. Fortunately, a proper left-winger has won and has ousted a Starmer bot, no less. So let's see what's happening. Just scroll down. This is a Canary article. I'll share this post-stream. You'll be familiar with the winning candidates. Andrea Egan, genuine democratic socialist, a proper Labour MP as she was. So she's won. She will be the General Secretary. Not just marginally either, by almost 2 votes to 1 against the Starmer bot, Christine McNair. 2 to 1. Fantastic stuff. So there's almost 1.5 million members, 1.3, rounding up slightly, million members providing public services primarily in education, local government, NHS, and energy. Lots of unions that used to exist sort of over the years have been absorbed by Unite as well, which has helped to turn it into the biggest union in the country. Of course, it goes without saying, unfortunately, unions not being as large or as influential as they used to be, say, even in the not too long ago, in terms of history, 40, 50 years ago, that they used to have. Let alone 100 years ago, when it was, advisors to prime ministers would say, now look, this is really going to piss off the unions, and it was taken seriously. Just one example just off the top of my head, say around the mid 1920s, you're talking Baldwin's era, and when we came out of the gold standard, and he tried to increase the value of the pound against the dollar by stripping workers' wages. People were saying to him, look, you can't do this because they're going to strike. And prime ministers would shit their pants if they pissed off the unions. Obviously 1.3 million people's very influential, but you'd be talking about essentially high 80s into the 90s in terms of percentile of the entire workforce, which was obviously very different 100 years ago than it is now. But those sort of numbers being in unions, it used to be incredible. When you read that historically, it really does make you think. Of course, most people, we produced more. Back then, most people worked in mines, pits, collieries, factories, warehouses, this sort of thing. Not the warehousing and other such things aren't prevalent, but the scale and the type of industry now has totally changed, and that's your mini history lesson for the day. In the end, all I'll say on that one was it was completely ridiculous, almost like cutting off your nose to spite your own face, because they were chasing a value of the pound, which I believe was equivalent to about, say, $4.60, something like that, I think. While pits and mines and factories were closing down, leaving the country desolate, workers starving, and then again being told that the pay was going to be lowered. So just for this, you know, the country itself was starving just to appease these bankers, and had it got to the figure that they set, they would have turned around and said, right, let's go, and there's nothing left. Sorry, there's nothing left. Everything's shut because of this imaginary world of capitalist economics and how they perceive value as opposed to the real value of labour here under the lesson, people. But you should check that era out if you're not familiar with it. Strikes and whatnot. Yeah, back in the day when you could get a gold sovereign over the counter at a bank if you gave them a pound note.
Excuse me, my good fellow. I wish to get my gold. Will you have about it? And quickly furnish me with a shiny silver sovereign, my good man, as it denotes here. You promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum of £1. Thank you very much.
Back to Unison. McNair was a creature of the labour right, so good riddance, and her management was firmly aligned with the Starmeroids and accused, this is the canary, so you're going to get it nice and straight, I love the canary, and accused anti-left manoeuvres, nobbling rivals and blocking the left-dominated executive's communications with union members. The new General Secretary has a vastly different history of opposing and being targeted by the Labour right. Egan took over the Unison presidency from left-winger Paul Holmes back in 21. Holmes had been hounded to the sidelines and stitched up at work after giving the right a fright by saying that he would stand for election as General Secretary with a promise to take only the average working wage for the role instead of a large salary enjoyed by right-wing incumbents. Almost as soon as Egan took on the role, she was also targeted, kicked out of the Labour Party by Starmer, the Starmer faction, I should say, in 22, on a pretext that she had shared posts of the Socialist Appeal group banned by Starmer, even though she'd shared them before the ban was in place. Yeah, do you remember that one? The retroactive bannings, is that right? Yeah, retroactive bannings. No, they said retrospective. Retroactive bannings, you know. Okay, this is illegal now. Oh well, yeah, and if you did it in the past, becoming, well, not illegal, but you know what I mean. Shocking. That was shocking. Just skim through the main points there. Have a look through yourselves. Like I said, I'll post that article in the chat, and not in the chats, in the description. Goodness, it's late. It's 2 minutes to midnight, people. It's been some week already. But it's good to catch up with the Brew crew.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
I can dig it. I can dig all of you for joining. There it is. It's time for another MOT on some of the software. I know that we're getting the upgrade, but just got to keep on top. Nearly there, people. That will be coming in January. I can reveal. January. Not sort of specific dates or a specific stream. It will get more specific. But for now, I have to thank all the members once more for all your contributions. Thanks for the gifted memberships this evening as well. Solidarity, everybody. Make sure you've hit thumbs up just want to re-emphasise as well the importance of please giving us a share on social media if you can, please. That is recent videos on the channel. When you discuss certain topics, it's sometimes difficult to break through the algorithm. Thank you once again, everybody. Solidari-Tea. A reminder to anybody who's watching back later on, super thanks are also available. And there's Buy Me a Coffee page in the description of this stream or any other content on the channel. Without further ado, I shall organise an immediate raiding party to go and show some support and solidarity for another socialist channel. We hope. And for lack of that, I shall shamelessly redirect into the most recent video on the channel. Which I think's fair. But we do have no justice, so cross to Helena at no justice. It doesn't appear to be with Kev this evening, but we'll find out when we get over there. So that's all locked in. Which means that all that remains is for me to thank you once again for joining me on the stream. Thanks for all of your excellent contributions in the chat. Really do love to go over all these topics with the fine audience we've got here on the channel. I'll see you over on No Justice very shortly, but for anybody who's, again, watching back later on, whatever you're doing with the rest of your day or evening, take care. My Lefty, I'll be seeing you soon. Free Palestine, free Lebanon, free Sudan, free Yemen, power to the people, and don't forget, everybody, globalise the enchilada. Good night.
Socialists.
A-R-A-I-D, A-R-A-I-D, on a rim is the health machine.